He flummoxed me.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene. So you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
You flummoxed me. That's what happened.
That's right.
Actually,
what a terrible line. All of her dialogue is so bad.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. All right. Well, we're back with our full breakdown of Charles St. Cloud, 2010.
Right. Chucky St. Cloud.
Chucky St. Cloud. What a name. What a stupid name. Friend of the pod, Jack Efron, 2010 dramedy, supernatural drama movie.
We're calling it a dramedy.
Yeah, I mean,
there was no comedy.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's laughing.
Yeah, no intentional comedy.
All right. Well, you want to recap
supernatural drama, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what it's actually listed as. Yeah, supernatural drama. So, do you want to give us a little recap on what it's about?
So, after Charlie survives a car crash that kills his younger brother, he's given the gift of seeing the spirits of his brother and others who he has lost, and must use his powers to save the woman he loves from impending disaster.
So
stupid.
It's so dumb. Use his powers. Let's go easy with that.
Yep. Nope. Powers.
I mean, that logline is kind of really spoilery.
Yes.
Like it completely spoils the twist.
Yeah. And it's not at all what I thought was going to happen. Even after we read the logline already in Trailer Trash, and I was like, when we both predicted not this.
Yeah. No, not this. But then halfway through, I was like, oh, nice. I think we're getting kind of M. Night Shyamalan here. Shyamalan.
We did. Yeah. Shout out to Shyamalan.
Yeah. Be a friend of the pod, would you?
I mean, I know a guy who's attached to Shyamalan, so like, I'm not saying it's plausible, but it's plausible he could be listening to the podcast right now.
No way. You think he's one of the 70 listeners we have in California?
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, something to think about. Just pretend like Shyamalan's watching.
Yeah. Always pretend like he's listening, right?
That's right.
Okay, so we're going to go a quick info, right? So this is directed by Burr Steers.
He looks like a douche. Don't you think?
Yes, don't you think? How is he known for Pulp Fiction? What did he do with Pulp Fiction? He played Roger. He played Roger. Yeah. How are you known for playing some random character? Oh my God. All right. So we got so he's a big he's done
a lot.
He's a big Zac Efron guy.
Yeah. 17 again, great movie.
one episode of The L Word, one episode of The Weeds. Actually, I know those are actually known to be really good shows. Big Love, another good show. One episode of that. 17 again, Zac Efron, and then right after that, Zac Efron right back again with Charlie St. Cloud. Right?
Wow, double down.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So many ands. There you go.
Didn't see that one.
Didn't see that one. Me neither. But he's known for Pulp Fiction. He played Roger.
Yeah.
I don't remember who Roger was, but yeah.
Word of advice: wipe that smirk off your face. You piece of shit.
Have someone else take your photo.
Who's punchable? I don't know.
Yeah, it does kind of seem punchable. All right, so who wrote this thing? So we got three people. Two here. We got Craig Pierce, Lewis Kulick, and then Ben Sherwood, who wrote the book. Right?
Yeah. Which I think I know which parts were written by Ben Sherwood, and it's all of the Tessa's dialogue.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ben Sherwood probably can't write women.
Probably not, but I think he just did a novel. I don't think he had anything. I mean, obviously they probably lifted a lot of the stuff from his book. So
probably came in and he was like, guys, you got to be more true to the dialogue here.
Yeah, you gotta be more terrible. Craig Pierce here. I don't know any of these things that he's done here. Yeah, so he Great Gatsby, the 2013 version. We got Charlie St. Cloud in here. Moulin Rouge. Oh, he did Romeo plus Juliet.
Wow.
Oh, okay. All right.
Best friend of the pod.
Yeah. Oh, and he did the new Elvis movie too. Okay. All right. So he's got some weight behind him there. And then we got Lewis Kulick. And what is he known for? He's known for Charlie St. Cloud. Then he took 13 years off and wrote Flamin' Hot, which no clue.
Oh, I want to see that. Isn't that the documentary about the Flamin' Hot Cheetos? Well, not a documentary, but like a documentary
documentary.
Like it's telling the story of it, but it's with actors.
But a docu.
What's the word for that? Like a movie.
Yes, I think it's called movie.
Based on a true story. Yeah.
There you go. You worked out yourself.
Jesus Christ.
Bulletproof. Yeah, Adam
so tired.
Friend of the pod. Yeah, Domestic Disturbance. So he's done some stuff. Wow. Back in 1982, 83. Three's Company. Wrote some episodes there.
One episode.
Wow. One episode of Archie Bunker's Place. Wow.
Oh, no. Right. Okay, so I take it back. I know where the dialogue came from.
Yeah, definitely. Ladder 49. He's a big, what's his face there? Friend of the pod. Fanatic there.
John Travolta?
Yeah.
That's what's Ladder 49 about? Is that a 9/11 movie?
No, it's
maybe
it is. I don't know.
I don't know. United 93, Ladder 49.
I mean, pretty close. A firefighter injured and trapped in a burning building has flashbacks of his life as he drifts in and out of consciousness. Meanwhile, fellow fighter. Oh, we could probably do this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix is a young lad there. Anyways, so that's that guy. 2000, whatever it came out in. So
yeah.
And then we got Ben Sherwood, who wrote the novel.
Executive producer, 3 episodes of Good Morning America. What does that mean?
Yeah. Senior producer, NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
What?
I'm so confused. I don't know. It's IMDb. Oh. People make shit up. So.
Oh yeah, great point.
Okay, who's in this movie? So we got actors. We got Zac Efron, right? He plays Charlie St. Cloud, main character here, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We got Charlie. We got Charlie Tahan. He plays Sam.
I don't know.
His younger brother. Man, me neither. Charlie Tahan. He's. If you ever watch that show Ozark on Netflix with Jason Bateman.
Nope.
Really, it's like one of my favorite shows. Every episode makes you just anxiety ridden, but it's so good. He actually isn't in that show, and he's really good in it. Amanda Crew plays Tess, the love interest. Kim Basinger. She plays mom, but she's only in it for like literally 2 minutes, not even.
Yeah. Well, she has a voicemail.
Right, that's right. She literally phoned it in.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Paycheck. Mm-hmm. We got Augustus Prue, who plays Alistair, his British buddy there at the cemetery.
Yeah, hate him.
Yeah, I don't like him at all. Ray Liotta, who plays Florio Ferrante.
Rest in peace.
I got it a big C.
I got it a big C. He died of heart failure, so at least there's that.
And we got Donal Logue, right? Logue?
Yeah, who I thought was the British guy. When I saw that in the credits, I was like, oh, that must be the British guy.
No, yeah. He plays Tink / the coach for Tess, boating coach. And then we got Hamish Miller, who's Charlie's sailing double.
Now, before we get into things later, I know we still got more quick info, but just like where my head was at, I kept thinking that the Tink coach character was also her dad. And I was like, oh, maybe she can talk to ghosts too. Like, that's what I thought.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Until later.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, there was a quick shot of her dad and like early on, and then he's dead.
I forgot immediately.
So, yeah. Dad's dead. Dad's dead. Okay. Production budget off and all the numbers here. Whoops. Numbers.
Oh boy.
Trying not to swear here. So this made worldwide, it made 48, let's just call it an even $48 million.
It's like over 15,000 fanatics. Pretty good.
That's so many.
Speaking of John Travolta.
We're always speaking of John Travolta. Split, it was domestic 31 million, international 17 million. I didn't get video numbers. And it was off a budget of 44 million.
Okay.
So not
better than I expected.
Yeah, it covered itself, but not really, because I'm sure marketing everything else.
Yeah. I can't imagine they marketed this one too much. They probably knew it was a stinker. Tay saw it in theaters, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She didn't watch it with me this morning.
So on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 28%, right? And then 60% audience score.
Honestly, like I assumed the Rotten Tomatoes would have been higher.
You mean the audience score or the
actual critic score? Like, there's a couple of moments where it tugs on the old heartstrings, and like it's not the worst movie we've done by a long shot.
It's actually not at all. So
I'm surprised it's that low. It wasn't a good movie, but
No, it was like highly predictable, and you knew everything was going to happen, right? But it was just like, okay, this is paint by numbers type of thing. But
yep,
I think the 60% is just the Zac Efron fans.
Makes sense.
You want some fast facts? I actually got quite a few here.
Back me, daddy.
Right off the bat, Amanda Crew, who plays Tess, she actually learned how to sail a boat for the movie.
Probably didn't have anything else going on, I bet. So
yeah, probably not. Zac Efron also underwent 3 weeks of intensive training in how to sail a boat. He proved to be so adept at it that no stunt double was required for him in most of the long shots of Charlie St. Cloud sailing, which completely contradicts me calling out Hamish Miller, who is Charlie's sailing devil. So I don't know who to believe.
Wait a second.
Yeah. So
well,
someone's credited most
required for most.
Yeah. So
like Amanda Crew actually did all of her own scenes. But.
Yeah. Jack just did like most. So
yeah.
The chief reason why Ray Liotta took on the film was his 10-year-old daughter, who was desperate to meet. Who writes this stuff? Was desperate to meet Zac Efron.
Wow.
Yeah. A similar reason who is writing these things? A similar reason impelled Kim Basinger to take on the role of the mother, i.e., her daughter Ireland. Oh, so Kim Basinger has a daughter named Ireland. Yeah. So all the daughters wanted to meet Zac Efron, basically.
I mean, he's handsome.
It is
handsome
Zac Efron.
Get Out.
Yeah, right. Like, come on. So there you go. That's fun.
Wow.
The town where the St. Clouds live is actually a composite of 4 different towns in the Vancouver area.
I could tell from the mountains next to the ocean.
Because we don't have. Yeah, right. That's what we called this out in the trailer. Like, that's not New England. Yeah. And it was very confusing because he keeps checking the Quincy sunset chart, which, by the way, there is a Quincy, Washington, but it is not really near water like that.
No, it's supposed to be Quincy, Massachusetts.
It is. Okay. Well, because
definitely
the book took place it was Marblehead. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah. It's definitely supposed to be in Massachusetts, even though then they make a joke about it at some point. Yeah. It's like confused me a lot.
Like the location situation is so confusing. Like this looks nothing like. But there's a fast fact tied to this. So I guess or whatever. I'm gonna skip that one. In the scene where Charlie remote controls a toy plane into a flock of geese, the plane is real, but the geese are not.
Sick.
How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel as a trivia, as a fast fact?
Actually, I like it because I called it out a couple times of like unnecessary CGI, and this is one of them.
Right? There was like so many moments you're like, wait, what? Why
did you do that?
Yeah. Like this scene where like they zoom out from like the boat and like they show like the whole like harbor there. And it was all CG. And I'm like, why? What are we doing here? I was hoping they're going to
zoom in on the headstone, and that for some reason they couldn't just like make a prop headstone that like has the kid's name on it. I'm like, why is this obviously computer generated?
Burr steers, come on, dude. Let's make better decisions in life.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan was considered for the role of Tess. Even exactly. Okay. Even screen tested for the role. The producers decided to cast Amanda Crew instead when they realized Lohan was impossible to ensure due to her ongoing legal issues and notorious reputation at the time of production.
That's great.
Yeah. The part played by Augustus Prew, who's Charlie's British buddy there in the cemetery, was originally written as a slightly older Russian immigrant. However,
I kind of thought that, honestly. Like he's kind of like written like a Russian guy.
However, our buddy here, Burr Steers, but that's a made up name, right? Had the part rewritten when he saw the audition tape that Prew sent him from London. Hello.
Jolly old England.
There was a bidding war for Michael Caine. There was a bidding war for Ben Sherwood's, the author of the novel, broke out before it was published. Why? Yeah. Before,
is the book good?
Why is no one, having a bidding war over my book? Come on.
We'll get there.
3 studios were in competition for the rights for the ultimate, with the ultimate winner being Universal, who paid a figure rumored to be between $500,000 and $1 million.
Huh.
So $500,000 or $1 million. So as we all know, safety tip: always start all of your negotiations at $500,000. So
that's right.
Yeah. So someone's obviously listening to the podcast.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. The Green Restaurant by the wharf, named Flynn's Reach, is actually the legendary Molly's Reach from the Beachcombers TV series in Gibson's, British Columbia.
Oh.
It was temporarily renamed and painted green for the filming.
They let them paint that place?
Yeah, that's fucking weird, right?
Yeah, weird.
Did you paint it back at least?
There's no way to know for sure.
Originally, the film was to be shot in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Yeah. However,
what accent was that?
I don't know. It was like a mix of.
It's like an Australian Boston.
Yeah, it was Australian meets Boston accent. Yeah, I don't think I could recreate it.
Nope.
However, the cost prevented the shoot from actually taking place there, and the production settled on Vancouver, British Columbia. Why would it be so expensive to shoot in Marblehead, Massachusetts? Like,
I mean, rich people don't want it in my backyard, you know?
All the sunset shots have been completely different.
Yep.
The novel explains that next fast fact here. The novel explains that the initials CS on Tessa's boat stand for Carol Sales. They also happen to be the same initials for Charlie. I don't like that.
Interesting.
One. Yeah, I don't.
I got a fast fact for you about the boat in the book also.
Wait,
so
want me to finish this last one? Should I finish this last one and then you do it?
Well, it's related to the boat.
Okay, go for it.
I was going to mix it in.
Oh, okay.
You know, there's like notes on your novel, like, you know, when it flows, when it makes sense, like put notes in here, you know?
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So CS, not the name of the boat. The name of the boat's Carencia, which is like a Spanish concept, not even like you can't really translate it in English, but it means
Carencia.
Like, that's right. You're like a favorite place or like a homing instinct, like what feels like home, which makes way more sense than anything they did in the movie. But sorry, go on, finish the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. Glad you interrupted me for that. Carencia.
It was related to the boat.
Carencia.
Carencia.
And the last one, drafts for the script were written by Craig Pierce, James Seamus, and Lewis Collick, but the final script was written by Craig Pierce and Lewis Collick. So James Seamus, he wasn't listed, he wasn't credited, but apparently he wrote a draft of the script and then got booted because he probably was like wanting to make it, I don't know, maybe a horror movie.
Huh.
So yeah, fast facts.
I bet what it was. So in the book, there's a dead dog.
Oh,
the car like rolls over and crushes their pet beagle.
What?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Why would you kill a dog?
I bet James Seamus was like, guys, we gotta have the dog getting rolled over.
Yeah,
and they were like, I don't know if that's gonna play with audiences.
Get out of here, Seamus.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That's
weird. Why would you? What a weird thing. Like, and then the beagle got crushed by the rolled over car.
Basically, yeah. Well, because at the end, when
oh my god.
Charlie and Tess are happily ever after. Big spoilers, everyone. Yeah. They get a new beagle.
Yeah.
In the book. So they're like, yeah, now we got a fresh dog and new children.
How is this book? How is there a bidding war over this? The rights to make this into a movie.
It wasn't his first book either. This is like he's into it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it. All right.
I think this is his third book. Anyway, Jesus. Ridiculous.
All right. You want to Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
Yeah. So, I took the easy route here.
Did you? Yeah, I guess you kind of did. Yeah.
Well, if you think about it for a second, it's obviously the Batman meets V for Vendetta. So the Batman, obviously,
the Batman.
Robert Pattinson's. Yes.
Yeah.
The new,
the Batman. The Batman.
Yep. So they have lots of things in common, as you can imagine.
Yep.
Both movies kind of too long. Even this one was short, but still kind of too long. Like, trim the last 15 minutes. I don't know. Make it shorter. They both involve punching a friend at one point. If you recall, Batman punches Commissioner Gordon.
That's right.
And
to get out of a situation, right.
That's right. In our movie, Charlie punches or slaps Connors, who hilariously, I thought for most of the movie that they were referring to the Connors, like there were two guys named Connor, those two bullies.
No, just Connors is his name.
It's just this one guy is Connors and the other guy is unnamed.
It's a singular plural.
Yeah, I thought it was like the Stacys, like it's the Heathers. Oh, of course, the Connors.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so that there, both movies have Italian guys starting with the letters F. You got Falcone,
Euphoria,
and then Florio Ferrente.
Florio Ferrente.
Ridiculous.
What
And
the top Italian name?
the F Italian guys are both kind of the bad guys. If you think about it, Florio should have let Charlie die. Then we wouldn't have had to watch the movie.
Yeah. Not wrong. Okay. All right.
Not only that, so those are just the surface ones, but like, imagine a brooding, tortured hero who's haunted by a tragic loss. Sound a little familiar?
a little bit.
So the Batman obviously is like Charlie St. Cloud in that way too.
Yep.
He's kind of like avenges his brother's death, kind of like he's always trying to avenge his mom and dad.
Yeah.
Batman, I mean, not.
Yeah. The other way.
Kind of has like superhuman, supernatural, maybe abilities. Kind of. I mean, I know he's just the world's greatest detective, but also Charlie St. Cloud doesn't really have powers either. But like,
he's just a guy. Kind of has.
Right?
All right.
And so meets V for Vendetta, like, for a number of reasons. Similar broody hero character. I guess it's kind of the same movie as the Batman if you think about it.
I mean, really, yeah, they're all the same. But yeah,
right.
Yeah.
A weird, creepy love story in both of these. So like V kind of like tortures Evie and then she falls in love with him, kind of. But
yeah,
it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
just like
this movie.
In this one,
I'm so confused about the science in this one.
Has sex with a ghost?
I think
that's not a ghost. I don't know.
We have to work on. When we get there, that's. I have big questions.
It's a very confusing scene.
The logic of death here is very confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Very confusing.
He's kind of avenging Tess, like, against the ocean, and in V for Vendetta. I mean, it's V for Vendetta. The whole thing is he's avenging lots of people.
Yeah, I mean, it's Vendetta, right?
That's right. And another character that struggles to move forward after a personal tragedy in his life, gets hung up on the past, trying to right some wrongs. And then, but at the end, like V, ultimately embracing his mortality and realizing that he's going to die, but like the idea won't die. Charlie also embraces his mortality and decides to rejoin the world of the living here and forget about his dead brother.
It takes him a bit. Yeah, he gets there.
Right. Yeah. So, they're wearing masks in Batman and V for Vendetta. Charlie's kind of wearing the mask of his grief. Right. Hiding from the world.
Kind of is, right?
Yeah. I rest my pitch. What do you got?
I mean, that's tough to follow up. I mean, you kind of nailed it.
Thank you. Basically the same movie.
I'm going with I'm going heavy Ghost here. So I'm going It's Ghost, the 1990 Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, Demi Moore,
and Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoopi Goldberg, right. Meets Ghost Ship. I don't know if you remember that movie.
I don't think I've seen Ghost Ship. Have I?
Maybe. I don't know. It's this guy right here from 2002. It's not good.
I did not see that.
So no, you definitely didn't. No one has. For lots of reasons. So I'm going Ghost because, one, you've got someone who is dead, right? Trying to, solve my murder. Where in this movie, we got someone who is, again, the laws of physics, I don't understand it, but she's dead, but hey, come find me, solve my murder, right? Solve my death, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Kind of your V for Vendetta here. A little closure with the death of someone, right? We get that a couple of times in this movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird, strange, sexy moments with a ghost, just like this movie. Actually, this movie is even more stranger.
Yep, even more stranger
because it's in a cemetery. I can't wait till we get there. And I think that's it for Ghost. And then,
some odd rich people hobbies like pottery and sailing. I don't know. I don't know anyone that does either of those things except rich people. So.
That's true, right? And has their own like studio and everything. Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. That's good. I like that. Thank you. Meets Ghost Ship. And Ghost Ship was basically just a crew.
Can't help you with this one.
just comes across a long lost, ship, which has, dead people on it. They were supposed to be long dead, but they're not, and they're just ghosts. Much like this movie, there's boats, there's water, and we think that Amanda Cruz's character Tess is dead. Ghost ship. Yep. She is kinda. Right?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad, right? That's it.
That lady kind of looks like Amanda Cruz.
So you tell me it's Amanda Cruz and Terry Crews?
No.
The Crews got together and made a movie?
That's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what I'm going with. I'm keeping it simple.
Great work.
Great work, team. Great work, team. Oh, we're doing so good today. This is fantastic.
I like your double ghost. Good job.
Most of you just wanted the double ghost. Yeah, I wanted a ghost. I wanted to ghost it up. So there you go.
Wow, this movie's full of them.
Yeah, there's so many ghosts in this movie.
We didn't even mention him yet at all because he's got a bit part, but best friend of the pod, Dave Franco.
Yeah.
Also a ghost.
Also a ghost. Yep.
More ghosts.
All right, should we get into this? Should we break it down?
Might as well.
So this is on what is it, on Amazon? It's on Amazon Prime right now.
That's right.
Opens up with the old FBI anti-piracy warning. I haven't seen that.
Been a minute.
Yeah, right? I haven't seen that since the days of DVDs. The digital versatile
we
disc.
Both wrote it down.
Yeah. Right?
Digital versatile discs. That's right.
That's what they stand for, right?
That's right.
Who knows that other than me?
No one.
Well, now everyone does. And then we cut to, then it goes right to the motion picture.
Really hung up on the FBI warning.
I haven't seen one in so long. I'm just like, what?
I know. Me too. Longtime listener of the pod, FBI.
Yeah.
We know you're there.
Long time listener of everyone. They listen to our Italian accents. Florio. Friend.
My husband, Florio.
Oh, he passed away.
Why won't you drink the oil?
Hey, can you see my husband? He's a dead. Anyways, all right. So we get the motion picture. Been rated for PG-13, blah, 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 right? And then, then we get, we only get two, we get the production and distribution companies. We get Universal, classic, right? That makes you feel like you're watching a movie.
It sure does.
And then we get that crazy animation for Relativity Media. Which,
it was nice.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Didn't look them up at all. Probably should have.
Yeah, Relativity, they're pretty well known, so they've done some stuff.
Okay, I was too focused on Querencia.
All right, then we open up. We're cruising over water, right? We're boats. We're racing boats right now, right?
Yep, sailboats and credits, like the trailer.
Yeah, and the credits are kind of short, but it does this weird thing where the camera goes underwater and shows the credits and comes back up to the boat. I didn't quite
don't
get
care
that.
for it.
Yeah, I didn't understand what that was doing there, but it does that. So we got Zac Efron, his brother Sam. They're cranking their boat, and it's just like this, intense little boating racing scene that's really edited annoyingly, but happens, right? Yeah.
And I was already immediately confused because we get the title card, but then somebody's boat, I think, capsizes. And
definitely one flips over. Yeah.
And I thought Charlie was trying to go help, but really he was just trying to win.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Right? I thought the same thing. I was like, he looked over and it was like the way they cut it. I was like, is he just trying to decide if he's going to go help them, or he's just like, nah? Which
would fit the rest of the movie.
Right.
That would be in character for him.
Nope, he's a dick. Nope. He just wants to win. So
yeah.
And then we get a quick shot. We meet Tess, right? And she's on the other boat, right? And
she's doing it again.
It's so annoying. Tess does Tess does a lot of talking to herself out loud, just to let you know what she's thinking. She's like, damn, that boy's just too good. Who says that? What is that?
Okay.
There's literally a scene later on when she's on a boat by herself and she's talking to herself in a way that no one talks to themselves. She's like, you can do this. You got this. Here we go.
Let me describe the scene.
Yeah, this is all just in her monologue.
Not listener of the pod, really, but friend of the pod, Carol.
Big long time.
You know who you are.
Yeah. Long time listener. Our friend.
Also talks to herself kind of like that.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, like at work. She'll be like, all right, Carol, you got this. Like, you can stand up.
So people actually do this. Okay, that's weird.
I guess so.
I take it all back then.
Yeah.
All right, so then, they're just cranking through. They're racing, whatever, and we're attacking. We're on the boat, whatever, and clearly Charlie knows how to sail. He's got, he knows what he's doing. And then
the boys impressed.
Yeah. And then they blast past the leaders, right? Two guys who are the quote unquote villains who come back.
The
later,
Connors.
Right? Yep. That's the Connors.
That's the Connors.
And they win the race. And then he does a backflip off the boat and leaves his little brother by himself on the boat to deal with it.
Yeah, way to rub it in.
Yeah. Also, like, how is his little brother going to handle that boat by himself? He
can't.
He can't. It's not possible. So,
and those other boys, I think, died on the boat at the beginning there.
Yeah, they're dead. Charlie sees them later on. So,
yeah.
Okay. And we're at the Bailey's Yacht Club post race, right? Winning stuff. We get some trophies. We're getting some medals and stuff like that, right? They're getting their photos taken for the paper and kind of doing like brotherly stuff, just kind of messing around, right?
Extra, St. Cloud boys, do it again.
Get that a couple.
And they're like, Charlie's like, do a sexy pose, Sam. Do a little sexy little boy pose.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
This won't be the first or last time I'm uncomfortable.
We get some trash talking from the guys who came in second, right? They come back later on to drop some lines, but like, hey, you can't pull those kind of stunts in college racing, blah blah blah, and like clearly just letting us know that Charlie's really good at doing this, right?
Yep.
And then Sam's like looking to scrap though. He's like, I'm getting in there, right?
Yep.
Charlie
Connors.
Yeah. And then
those guys are bullies.
And then we get our first sunset cannon fire.
That's right.
This happens obviously throughout the entire movie, 1,000 times throughout the rest of the movie. There's two things I think that I loved about this movie. One was the sunset cannons, because they happen all the time, and then the geese. The geese kept coming back as like the the geese.
Famed Marblehead sunset cannons.
Yes, right.
Sorry, I mean Quincy. But then they where are they? Because even later on they admit that they're in the Washington area, because she's like, oh, I'm heading out to Puget Sound. That's in Seattle. Well, I don't think she said. I think she says like Poogly Sound or something.
No,
like,
she says.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, because when she said, I was like, wait, what? I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore.
I don't know what's happening. Well, and then they say later on, they're like, oh, why? We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I hate this.
Yeah, I do too. Anyways,
they're definitely in Quincy.
Yeah. So then we get sunset cannons, and then they're hanging out, and it's the longest sunset ever, because it was actually sunsetting earlier, and they're hanging out watching the sunset by the boats. And that's it. That's that scene. So they won. Yeah, they did something. So there you go.
Where do you think you're going, Charlie? Everywhere. That'll be us someday.
Well, I don't know. One of us is going somewhere, but the other one, not so much. Yeah. Sorry, dude. Summer, we're car ride. We jumped to a car ride. We got Mom, Charlie, and Sam. We meet Kim Basinger, right?
Yep.
And we get
looked up how to say her name too.
I think it's however you want to go with it.
That's right. She said that. I think
it's just Kim Basinger. Yeah, this is just kind of like setting up like, okay, they're financially tight, whatever. He's got this scholarship to go to Stanford, I think it was, right? For boating. Yeah.
And she's like, well, even with the scholarship, we can't afford to go there. And the mom's like, you can't put your life on hold, Charlie. You got to go to college.
Like, literally the theme stated, like, here you go. Like, here's your lesson to learn. Live your life, right?
I want to be there when you spank Yale.
Yeah.
Sammy's like, yeah, spank it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of spank talk all of a sudden. I was like, what is going on? So,
Yep.
I was like, this is weird. All right. Okay. That's it. And he's going to his high school graduation. We get to graduation, right? And it's just kind of just laying on like, oh, he's a big deal. He knows a lot of people. He's got friends. He's got, he's good at what he does. Even like he goes and gets his diploma, and like the principal's like, we're expecting some great things from you, son. It's like, all right.
Way to put pressure on the boy.
Yeah, right. Just fucking let him live his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we get Dave Franco popping up. Hey, bud, he's there, right? And then he's like, yo, dude, we got a kegger tonight. Right, I'm shipping out to go to boot camp next week, so stuff sped up. Here we go. Right.
Yep. By the way, it's kind of important. Just difference between the book and the movie, in that in the book he's not graduating high school or going to college or anything. Like that's not a plot point at all. Which they make.
Oh, really?
The whole movie, yeah, because he's 15 in the book.
Oh, really? Yeah. So he's much younger than
yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway,
he's 15, but he gets in a car accident, so he's got his driver's permit.
No, he like sneaks away and steals the mom's car, and like they're going to watch a Red Sox game together. It's like totally different than the movie. Yeah.
I mean, he does sneak out and does steal. He doesn't steal a car, but he does sneak out, right? But yeah, interesting.
To do Dave Franco stuff.
Which, why not? Dave Franco. Let us do Dave Franco stuff. Come on, man.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And we get another sunset transition. So more sunsets, lighthouse. We get the town, some more cannons. The cannons are always happening. So now we're at the house, and this is stuff from the trailer, right? So we get the boys hanging out, baseball gloves. We're going to do some baseball stuff.
Well, just before that, just because I forgot to set it up when we were talking about Dave Franco, it got lost in his dreamy eyes for a second there.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's shipping out for boot camp like the next week. That's important.
Oh, I mentioned that, but yeah.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
When we were talking about Dave Franco?
Yeah.
Oh, when you talked about the kegger. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he's like, oh, wait, things are.
We talked about a lot of things between then and then. I completely forgot.
It's okay. It happens.
Post.
So we're at the Cloud House, right? The St. Cloud House, I should say.
Yeah.
And we got Charlie hanging out with a baseball glove, right? And Sam shows up late, which I don't understand how he's late. They're living the same. Anyways, so he's like,
I think that's kind of the joke. Like,
yeah, I guess so. But this is
practice. You got to take shit seriously, boy.
But this is like, this runs throughout the rest of the time, right? Where he shows up late to go see Sam later on. So it's like a whole thing about don't be late, right? So Charlie's like, hey man, if you want to commit, you got to commit to play, right? So let's do this. Let's make a deal. I'll make a deal with you, but you got to be committed to it. We'll do baseball stuff every day. 1
hour at sunset.
At sunset. So that's hangs up there, right? But if you're late, it's off.
Like, I'm sorry, Charlie, I couldn't find my glove.
Sorry, Charlie.
Don't care. No excuses.
Don't care, man. He's like, I didn't think I was going to baseball camp. Rich kids go to baseball camp.
Yeah, you're poor. Don't you forget it.
Yeah, don't you forget it. And you're gonna be dead soon, so
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Good thing mom didn't pay for camp.
Yeah, because there's no refunds. So like the stuff from the trailer, right? Mom's like, I got an extra shift, so you're on Sam duty tonight, right? Yeah. He's like, dude,
man.
Oh man, but I got a kegger to go to. So then they're home, right, night, and he's making dinner or something like this, right? And they're watching the Yankees Sox game. Red Sox.
Aggressively screaming at the television.
Yeah, like, all right, easy, bud, easy, right? So then he makes dinner or whatever, and then it cuts to him like sneaking out of the house later on, right? He gets in the car and he's like lighting up, and then not lighting up, he's turning the car on.
He's lighting up the headlights.
Thank you very much. And then Sam's just like standing in the middle. He's like, "Where are you going, dude?"
Yeah.
So Sam's like, "Hey, you're on Sam duty tonight. Where are you going?"
You're supposed to be on Sam duty. Play with me.
Yeah, you're supposed to be sleeping or whatever. And then so does he's like, "Hey, give me a ride to his friends or to Dad's." Dad doesn't exist, so it's his friend's house. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dad's gone. It's Tommy's house that he's trying to go to.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, he's like,
"Can you get me to Tommy's by the bottom of the 8th?" And he's like, "No, that's not even on the way."
Yeah, bro, it's not even close. And then they do a little brother back and forth, stuff, and then and he ends up taking a ride. So
"Blow me dick" was one of the lines and almost the quote for the beginning. But
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's reasonable.
Yep.
And then we're in a car ride, and this is the last car ride we're going to be in.
Yeah, listening to Block Party, having a good time.
Yeah, and then it's just them kind of being brothers, whatever. And then Sam kind of gives him. I do love Charlie's like, keep an eye out for cops like 4 times. You're like, I didn't get that. Like what?
Why?
Yeah, like just drive your car.
Like it didn't seem like he was speeding or anything, and like he wasn't drinking and driving. Maybe it's because that was from the book when he's 15 and like not supposed to be driving.
Yeah, and they forgot to cut that out. They just didn't.
Stupid.
Then we get a little thing again about how Sam, the kind of theme here of like Sam not wanting to be forgotten by his brother. He looks up to his brother and he's like, "Hey, you're gonna forget all about me, and like you're gonna, you can't wait to get out of this town." Blah blah. Yeah. And he's like, it's all stuff from the trailer, right? And he's like, you don't want you to leave like Dad did, whatever. He's like, I'm not gonna ditch you like Dad, whatever, blah blah blah. But
that's right. He will.
He will. He's gonna ditch you for a lady. It happens all the time. So
then they do a bunch of fighting in the car, like a big slap fight.
Yeah.
Which you're like, oh, is that gonna be what gets him in the accident? Nope.
No. Nope. He's trying to take a left-hand turn and a van hits him from behind.
That's right. He gets rear-ended, which then T-bones him by a tractor trailer.
Yeah, an 18-wheeler, which, by the way, the time it's spent, so he gets rear-ended, and then he's like, the car spins around, so he's in the other lane, and 18-wheeler's coming the other way, and I was like, this is so slow, like, just hit the gas, like, your car's not dead. Yeah, just,
that's right.
You
got rear-ended.
Yeah.
It's Charlie's fault.
Yeah, 100%, like, just press the gas pedal and just drive out of the way.
Yep.
But, nope, Charlie, and then kaplow. Yeah, all banged up, right? So this is where it gets kind of weird.
Yeah, this is in the part in the book when the car rolls over the dog twice or something like that. Like, well, why? Oscar.
And the car kept rolling over the dog again and again and again.
Yeah.
And again.
Ben Sherwood's favorite.
Yeah. So the car's like flipped over, right? And then it's like a shot of Charlie and Sam, or Charlie's holding Sam, right? And they're kind of all bloodied up a bit, right? And it was really weird because like Charlie was like, yeah, they're looking for us. And there's lights, whatever, and like flashlights and like cops there and stuff like this. And like Sam's like, hey, don't leave me, whatever. And
God, I hurt so much.
Yeah. And I was like, what is happening right now? It was like a weird, like flashbacky type of thing. Not flashback, but it's like
they're both dead.
They're both dead. Yeah. So then we cut to the ambulance, right? And then we got good old Ray.
I love the ambulance driver to Ray Liotta. He's like, just give up on him. That kid's a lost cause. You're like, no EMT is going to say that. Like, what are you talking
Isn't
about?
this your job?
Yes. Just give up on that kid. He's dead as hell.
Oh my God. So yeah, he's flatlined. Ray Liotta's like, nah, man.
There's no such thing as a lost cause.
Yeah,
is what he says.
which comes back later. It's stupid, but yeah. So then he's like, shock him. And then Charlie he comes back, right? We got a pulse back. He wakes up and then all stuff from the trailer. And he totally freaks out about like, where's Sam? Sam's like right next to him, just dead. His arm hanging out off the edge here, which comes back later too.
Yeah. And he looked totally fine.
Yeah.
I thought, okay. What injuries does this kid have?
Yeah, wake up, kid. Wake up. Yeah. Like, what's going on?
He's the one who took the brunt of the truck.
And then we end up at a funeral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of this is from the trailer, right? We got a tiny coffin there, priest doing his priest stuff. Charlie's crying, and he starts hearing voices, right? And he thinks he sees Sam like behind a headstone. I was like, oh, is he like turning into like a Stephen King kind of like? I was like, yeah, let's go all in with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't. No. And then like, hey, buddy, you want to? Charlie's basically just kind of like lost, right? He's kind of like, what the hell's going on here? Understandably. And then the priest is like, hey, you want to drop the glove in?
Exactly.
He's like, and then we hear the cannons fire because it's sunset, and he's like, I can't, and he just runs into the woods, right?
Yeah. And his mom's like, don't go. Like, I'm also a character that matters.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, no, Mom.
He's Keanu Reeves. He's like, no, Ma.
No, Mom, you're barely in this.
So he just runs into the woods, and most people who run in the woods, they end up tripping and falling, and he falls and drops the glove. Ball goes rolling, right? Mm-hmm. And during this very, very, very long run, he's like having like PTSD, like flashbacks of like the accidents. We get shots of that, like, right?
Yep.
He's kind of losing his mind a little bit here. And then
the whole thing.
Yeah, and then he's in the woods, and this is the spot where he just gets weird with his brother. And
yeah, it's Ghost Sam shows up and like rolls the ball over to him, and he's like, "You're late. I thought we had a deal."
And you're like, "Alrighty,
what?
We've officially hit weird." So yeah, then there's meet every day here at Sunset Cannons. So we're gonna hear the cannons all of the time throughout this movie, right? And making promises and stuff like this, and then the camera does this, like, this is like one of the scenes where it does this really weird, like, it pulls up out of the woods, right? All the way up, like a kind of like a world view. And I was like, oh man, maybe they're just on like the Lost Island or something like that. Like,
yep.
No.
Nope.
No, it's just a weird CG shot of landscape and water and where they are, like a cove. And I was like, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's like obviously not Boston, but
yeah. And then it does like this, then it does like the transition is like, then it zooms back in to the same spot, right?
Yep.
Very, very weird transition shot, right? But then we get like, actually before it does the zoom back in, we get the title card, right? 5 years later.
5 years later, that's right.
And then the camera zooms back in, kind of like the previous shot, right? And then we zoom in on the cemetery and on to Samuel St. Cloud's headstone, right?
Which again, for some reason, is computer generated and not just a prop. Like, why would you do this?
Like, so unnecessary. Just make it real, right?
Infuriating.
Yeah, and it's like,
too young.
It's also just like, right? Yeah.
Alive in our hearts forever.
And then we get shots of boats at sunset, of course, because this movie is perpetually in sunsetting time. So,
and we get like some radio exposition. It's like,
yeah,
today is the day to get out on the water, folks. It's super nice out there.
It's a green flag day.
What?
Okay, all right. And we got him checking the Quincy sunset chart, right? Which he does quite a bit of stuff in the trailer. And then he's kind of getting ready for his day of work. This is Charlie, right? And then we get like he comes out of this little house he's in. We get a close up shot of like the caretaker's house, so like you know that he's all right. He's got a place to stay, and he is the caretaker of the cemetery where his brother is buried. Yeah, and we get kind of like I was gonna say right, and it's just like
groundskeeping.
Yeah.
Okay. Mows the lawn, chases ducks around.
And then him chasing the geese around. It's like, okay, this is the geese are really the heroes of this movie because they are just, opening gates, raising and lowering the flag. Yeah. Weird choice of music going on. And then he meets up with his buddy. What's his name?
British friend.
Alistair. Which
is like the most British guy name of all time. I feel like, of course, his name is Alistair.
Right. Jesus.
Yeah. And he's like, oh man, I hate these geese, huh? Can we shoot them? And Charlie's like, what? He's like, we got to go dig up a guy. Like, wait, what? Is that your job too?
Well, it's funny too because like that setup right there of him being like, can we just get like a crossbow and shoot him? Comes back later, which is just so annoying. Yeah, very subtly. But yeah, he's like, hey man, I got my anniversary's coming up. We got to come out to the bar, right? So, and Charlie's like kind of lost, and he's staring at Amanda Cruz, Tess over there, right? She's on the other side, hanging out with dead dad, right?
Yeah. Well, she's getting subtly, and by subtly I mean not at all subtly, infuriated by the branches that are laying around her dead dad's grave, and she's like, she's coming in real hot in a minute.
Yeah, she's pissed, right? And they kind of and she's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, we'll take care of it. And he's like, oh, we'll plant some flowers there, blah blah.
Yeah, he's like, you got flower preferences, and she's like, well, I gotta like, I prefer them to be alive. And he's like, okay, yeah, no problem. She's like, all right, well, I'm still mad about something. And he's like, yeah, okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. But they do have like a moment though, like, cause she sees him and they have like I don't know the words I'm gonna use right now. And he's just kind of zoned out staring at her. So
yeah, it's infuriating. They have no chemistry together, in my opinion.
No, not at all. And then we cut to him chasing some geese around on the gator there. He's just like chasing after him. And then he's
all of a sudden
he's yelling at some guy at a headstone, like, hey, you can't take tracings of this. Don't take tracings, right?
Yeah, you can't do no rubbings on
no rubbings. All right, that's key. That's important.
Because then he goes, if I was gonna rub one out, I wouldn't do it in a graveyard, St. Cloud.
So it's Dave Franco's character in his dress blues there, right?
Yes.
And he's
Lieutenant
like,
Sullivan.
Yeah, Lieutenant Sullivan, right? And we learn like, oh, how's your mom? So she moved to Portland, which I guess would work if you were in the Washington area. You could move to Portland, Oregon, but
I thought it was Portland, Maine.
I thought so too. I don't know. This movie doesn't really.
Nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes any sense. And he's like, yeah, man, what's going on here? The geese basically shitting on headstones, whatever.
Yep. And he's like, shame about our buddy there. Drove over a landmine. It was a real mess.
Yikes.
Oh.
And then he's like, and then Charlie's like, oh, I wish I was there with you guys, And he's like, no, you belong here. No, it's good that you weren't, right? Yeah. And you kind of get in a sense like they do this a few. I mean, they play on this like you feel like, oh, this person's actually here, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then it cuts to the British buddy shooting his crossbow in the woods, collecting his arrows, and he looks over, and we cut to him just watching Charlie, and Charlie's like just talking to no one. He's just like, he's like, interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
And then like, so then they cut back to Charlie and like, Sullivan's like, he's like walking away and he's like, hey, I'll say hi to Sammy. Right.
Yeah. Well, Charlie says you don't have to go. And so he's like, everyone's got to go sometime. Like,
and then the camera, once he like walks away, the camera pans down. You see the headstone is actually for Sullivan, right? Lieutenant.
What?
Yeah. Mind blown. Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. And Charlie's talking to himself, and he's like, he's not there. This isn't real.
This is not good.
Great. So. Good start.
Cut to we're in a store. He's buying a plane here to go attack the geese here. And we got these girls behind the counter just like talking about how cute he is, but how weird he is, blah, 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 right?
Which I was like, if he's 23 now, 22, like 23?
Yeah, 18, 5 years.
These girls look like they're
50
maybe. Yeah, it's not great because they're like, take me on your boat sometime, Charlie, and he's like, yeah, okay. Like, oh, Charlie.
Oh, sorry, Charlie. Yeah, he's like, oh, you want to go on my boat too? And they're both like, oh yeah. And then the third girl's just like, I wouldn't put too much into it. He hasn't sailed in years. It's like
5 years.
5 years.
Like, thanks for reinforcing 5 years. Okay,
yeah,
got it.
Understood.
He's like, I gotta buy a toy plane. You're like, for the geese. Okay.
It's not for me. It's for the geese.
Okay. Crazy.
All right, buddy. Yeah, I don't want to go in your boat anyways, you know?
Yeah.
And then we're back at the cemetery. We're at the caretaker house, right?
Yep, back home.
He gets his baseball glove, whatever, right? We get the sunset cannons again because of course. And he heads into
as usual.
Yeah, and he heads into the creepy woods. And this is where he throws the ball in the air and then Sam catches it on the other side, right?
Yeah. He's like, "What's new in Quincy?" And he's like, "Well, just some girls hitting on me."
Yeah. Bought a plane. Yeah, bought a plane. The usual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saw my catch. Saw my dead best friend. The usual.
Casual.
Nothing big.
Yeah. And Sam's like, did he say anything about leaving? Like, how is it? And he was like, no, it's totally fine. And Sam's like, I think I probably miss you. And he's like, no, you don't have to miss me. Like, look at us. We're doing this forever together. Yeah. Forever.
It's happening. It seems like in this world, the science behind the death is like you die and you kind of hang out and then you decide when you want to go.
Purgatory. Yeah.
Having to take grounders. Come on, man.
Joking about the Sox losing to the Yankees.
Ugh, right? Classic. And then we cut to them chasing the geese with the plane, right?
Yep.
This is CG geese, I think, right? So
yeah, and then shit on them.
And then they jump in the water, and then it cuts to like later at night, and Charlie comes up, he surfaces from the water, and obviously Sammy's not around. No one's around, right? He's alone. So it's a pretty dark movie.
Yep. It sure is.
Pretty dark movie. So, and we cut quickly to the caretaker house. He's, his house there, and he's just drawn pictures of boats. So he's an artist as well. Right. And we cut into town, and then Charlie runs into Ray Liotta's character, right?
Hey, it's me, Florio. Remember?
You don't remember me?
What accent are you doing, Ray Liotta? Just his own. It's just
really Ray Liotta just doing his thing. He's like, you remember me? I brought you back from the dead. It's me, Florio Ferrente. He's like, okay. I feel like I remember.
Of course, his name is Florio Ferrente.
And he's like, and it's like the best line. He was like, you want to grab a cup of coffee and catch up? And Charlie's like, sorry, I can't. And Ray Liotta literally drops like the Ray Liotta, like, what, you can't grab a cup of coffee with me? I was like, oh, geez. He went Goodfellas on him. I'm like, oh, Jesus, grab a cup of coffee with him. He's going to kill you. What, you can't grab a cup of coffee?
I guess not.
So they do. Yeah, they do. It's like, it's funny because he's got the thing in his hand there, the whatchamacallit from the hospital, right? And I was like, oh man, my thought was like, is Ray Liotta actually dead? And he's like just talking like that was my first thought. I was like, oh, maybe he's dead, and he's just like, that
would have been acceptable. They do make it a mechanism of the movie, and then they don't have him come back from the dead later and talk.
Yeah, would have, right?
Why wasn't it that instead of his wife?
Right.
We'll get to it. Yeah. I hate this.
Yeah, right. It's like he's so important to him, and then he just doesn't like that. Yeah. Why would you do that?
We've established you can do that in this movie. So.
We've also established that the dead can also move physical objects in this world. So
that's right.
He could have given him the chain. So
stupid.
It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. No consistency. So yeah, they're coffee shop. They're chatting away. Ray's like, yeah, I get the big C. Florio.
Sick as a dog.
Sick as a dog. I got the big C.
Yeah. I got no regrets. I lived a full life. And you're like, he looks like he's like 55.
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you though? Did you?
Yeah, your wife looks much younger later.
Much younger. Yeah, and then like just reinforcing the thing that Charlie's got to learn, right? He's like, you got to live a full life. You got to move on and do those things, right? And then Ray's like, or Florio is like, I saw a miracle, right? He's like, why did you get a second chance? Why weren't you dead? Yeah, you were dead.
Ruthless.
Yeah.
You ever think about it? You just think about why you?
Yeah. You should be out in the world living your life. Don't squander the gift that you've been given, right? So
yeah. God has a plan for you, bud.
Yeah. So yeah, theme's kind of restated there by Florio. So then we cut to like the town big God guy, right? And then we cut to like the town kind of dock area, right? He's like, he leaves a coffee shop and he's walking down and he spots a boat in the water and it's Tess, right?
Yeah, and we get more exposition from the news where it's like, she's going to be the youngest skipper to ever do something around the world. Who cares? Like, yeah.
So yeah, he happens to walk through the newscast as they're like talking about this. I was like, Jesus Christ. And he walks on the dock and he just stares at her. And then sunset cannons.
Yeah, basically. She's like, I don't know. Again, she just is not like a character that you root for ever in this. Like, she's just like, whether I win or not, it won't be because I don't have a great boat. And you're like, oh, we get it. You're rich and you have nice things.
Yeah.
Bring off. I hate her.
So we cut to the creepy woods, right? And we get it's all stuff from the trailer, right? And Sam's giving Charlie a hard time about the girl, right? And there's this weird battle over the magazine.
Icky.
It's right. Okay. All right.
Sam's like, she's hot. Is there a swimsuit pic?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, what do you do? You perv? And he's like, I'm going to wreck that magazine. You're like, what? Like, repeatedly.
Is this, am I thinking what I'm thinking right now? Is this what they're implying?
Yes.
And then Sammy like rips the top of the magazine and like Charlie has it back. And he's just like, oh, the one shot of her like in her bathing suit is still intact. I'm like, oh my God. Can we just...
How convenient.
How convenient. Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So I wasn't the only one that felt this was a weird scene.
No, it was bizarre. Which, like, I don't know. Yeah. I think in the book too, they had, which made more sense, maybe the way they played it. They had Sam like growing up along the way.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was a fast fact. I know you cut, but like when they were there, there's trying to do an older Sammy actor at one point, and then they're like, fuck it, we'll just make it that kid the whole time.
Make it the kid the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
He appears older to Charlie, like almost like he's growing up,
like he's aging
alongside him.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess that's maybe tougher in the movie wise because like,
right.
Okay.
So if you think about this, when like Charlie's in his early 20s and he's still like a horny teenager, that makes a little more sense as a scene.
Yeah, a little bit more.
He's 11 in the movie, so like, okay, maybe, but
too soon. Too soon. So we cut back to Charlie's caretaker house here at nighttime, right?
Yeah. Drawing boats again,
and he gets an idea by looking at like a tail of a fish, right?
So stupid.
And then we cut to the dock, right? And he's drawn more boats, right? And it's nighttime, and his British buddy Alistair there sneaks up on him, right? Yeah. He's so annoying.
I can't believe you made it. It's my anniversary.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you're supposed to come out. He's like, yeah, of course I was going to come out, whatever, right? And there's a whole thing earlier on where he's like, you say you're going to come out, but he never does because he's just depressed, right?
Exactly.
Grieving and depression, and has guilt because he murdered his own brother.
That's right. Yeah. In cold blood. Mm-hmm. And the dog in the book.
And the dog. Like 3 or 4 times the car flips over. I mean, what a terrible way to go, huh?
Yeah.
So then they head to the bar, right?
Yep.
We get the British guy.
It's like karaoke, kind of
karaoke, I guess.
Unofficial karaoke.
Yeah. And then we
not
meet
state supported.
And we meet Cindy, right? And that's British guy's girlfriend or whatever. And she's trying to intro Charlie to like some lady, some woman, Rachel, right? And it goes so poorly.
He's horrible. He's like, I only come out during full moons. And she's like, well, the moon isn't full. And he's like, that's your lucky night. What?
Just to show he's not really good with the ladies right now.
Yeah.
Having a tough time.
Brutal.
Yeah. So this is inside the bar, and we cut outside the bar, and we got Amanda Cruz, Tess there talking to her coach, Tink. And he's like,
I thought was her dad.
Yeah. Dad's dead. But he's like, it's not looking so good for this trip. The storm's coming through. Blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't do this thing, right? And we got
yada weather.
Yeah, weather. Well, whatever, whatever weather. And then we got Tess checking out Charlie through the window, whatever. And then we get the scene from the trailer where Tink is just like going.
The Connors show up in a second, but
yeah, a little exposition about how loony Charlie is, whatever, and like why you into him, whatever. But she's clearly very enamored with
he flummoxed me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ugh. Gross.
What does that mean?
I don't want to flummox anyone. Ugh.
Isn't this guy your dad?
Yeah. So then we're back inside the bar, right? And the bros, the Connors, they show up, right? Goddamn Connors, right? And they're like, hey, we're gonna buy some shots. Let's go do some Jaeger bombs, right?
Yeah.
And it's all from the trailer, right? And Charlie's like, he's trying to give him a shot, whatever, like, one of the Connors there, and he's like, nah, man, I don't want to drink, whatever. And the guy's like, it's okay, man. It's not like anyone's getting in line for you to be a designated driver.
Yeah, from the trailer.
Woo.
Love it.
Ouch.
You're right. Dramedy. I forgot this was a dramedy.
Yeah, it's a dramedy. I was like, yowza. So Charlie flips right and he slams him in the bar or whatever. And then the rest of the scene, he's like, everyone's like, oh, he's like, it's okay. It's like, I'm good. It's all good. Right. And he's like, Charlie just like talking to him about like, hey,
I was Goldman Sachs.
Yeah,
heard the layoffs were bad. He's like, yeah, for some people, I still got my job. He's like, oh, good. You still got full dental. Oh, where is this going? And slaps him or punches him. Hard to tell.
He punches him. He gives him a good sock in the face. So.
And everyone claps. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's all very strange. Yeah. And then we're back outside, right? And he's alone and he's kind of brooding and staring at a boat, right?
Very Batman.
Yeah, very the Batman-esque, right? And he has a moment with the boat, right? And he's kind of like, oh, he misses this thing that was part of his life, right? Yeah, exactly. It has quick flashbacks to like the race in the beginning of the movie with him and
Charlie. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. And then and it's just stuff from the trailer, right? So then he's like checking out Tessa's boat, and she pops up. And she's like, "Oh,
hey, I'm not scared of you." And he's like, "What?
What a weird thing to say to someone." It's like, I didn't mean to scare you. And she's like, I'm not scared of you. What? Okay.
Her dialogue's horrible.
Yeah.
And she's like, Connors is a dick. And I was like, oh, there's just one Connors is this one I figured it out.
Yeah.
But I'm calling with the two Connors. And she's like, oh, you don't remember me, right? And he's like, no, I remember you. I already planted your dad's stupid flowers. And she's like, no. From AP class, remember? So long ago in high school.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
And he's like, oh, yeah, you were the nerd at the front of the class.
Always raising your hand.
Yeah. And she's like, you got that sailing scholarship to Stanford, right? He's like, I deferred for a while.
for a while.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Not for like an athletic scholarship.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, I should go.
Yeah, and that was it, right? And she's like, okay. She comes back in the boat. And then he's like, oh, he's got this moment of like, I feel like I should have said something. Yeah. That's it.
Is what he says.
Yeah.
Flukes.
Total flukes, right?
She's like, what? Like a whale tail. Can I show you something? Like, oh my God, I hate this so much.
Oh, so bad. And then he like shows a drawing of like his idea for like the rudder there for a boat, right?
I love this scene because the dialogue is so bad. Like he's like, there's newer tech to fabricate the organic lines. There's no drag on it. And she's like, what? And she's like, I tried that idea too, but everyone told me structural stability was more important. And he's like, it doesn't matter, you idiot. It's simple math. Like, can't you figure out the math? Look at this. And she's like, oh.
Don't be so stupid. I'm mansplaining something to you right now.
And he's like, well, good luck with the race. He's like, thank you.
It's such an abrasive like scene.
I hate it.
Then she sees like the drawing of her boat that he did, right?
Right, exactly.
And then we cut to him hanging out in the lighthouse, right? And it's sunset again.
Sunrise boats.
And then
I thought this was sunrise.
No, it's all sunset. They're in the west.
Right. Well, they're in the east now. Sometimes they're in the east, sometimes they're in the west.
No idea where they are. Here in the east, the sun wouldn't set over the water.
That's right. That's why it's the east now. It's sunrise, and they're doing a whole day. They're like, oh, wherever the sun needs to be, we'll just make it there.
We'll just CG it.
We're filming in Vancouver. We can't do anything about this.
So then he's watching her sail away from the lighthouse, right? And that's a kind of a big moment because she's off heading into the storm. You know, you got to.
I'm so bored.
Yeah. Jesus
Don't
Christ.
Get penisy.
And then, so she sails off into the sunset in the waters, and we don't know what's going to happen. He's just watching from the lighthouse. So
yeah, well, we see like thunder and lightning, and it looks bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I wouldn't go out there in that.
The coach is like, look out.
Yeah. Look out. It's like a storm I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a good time for us to sail off into the sunrise for part one.
That's right.
So yeah,
what a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, big cliffhanger because we don't know what's going to happen. Is she going to die on that boat? Is she going to survive? Is he dead?
Both?
Did Sixth Sense come out after or before this movie? Great question.
We don't know.
We don't know. There's no way to find out, right?
That's right.
Can he bring him back to life? We don't know. We'll find out.
Well, Sam, stay horny.
But so thanks for listening. We're back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram. It's This Meets That. We're on the platform formerly known as Twitter, ITMT Pod,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, It's This Meets That. Wherever you're listening, subscribe. And if you got some friends, share it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Or talk about how much you love ITMT with strangers by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, because every time you do that, an angel gets its wings. And speaking of angels, we also have T-shirts now.
That's right.
Including one memorializing Glenn, the other host.
Yeah.
Who's now an angel.
Yeah. I mean, we see him. I mean, he's here with us right now, but you can't hear him, but we can. So
that's right. Yeah. That's right. But we have lots of other T-shirts too, not just Glenn, which is the joke that keeps on giving. Yes. We've got tons of safety tips. We've got the foreshadowed monster, ITM-tron, the works. Check it out. Either on our website, it's thismeetsthat.com, where you can also get all the old episodes and everything, or you can go to TeePublic and search for It's This Meets That, and we'll pop right up. And if you want to give us feedback, tell us about the T-shirts, hopefully. Yeah. Like, oh, wow, I just bought this T-shirt. How cool and comfortable and cottony is it? Let us know. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com, and we'll read your emails in trailer trash like we always do.
Yeah.
And have a great Wednesday in between.
I would say you get a T-shirt, and if you take a photo of yourself in a T-shirt, throw it on Instagram, tag us in it, and we'll send you some free stuff.
That's right.
How's that? How's that make you feel?
Good promise.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we need to say anything else, or is that it?
I don't know. Yeah, I think we should end the episode. Okay.